I love that helmet, Dex. And we are now heading to a skate park in the countryside. It's mild out today, but it's not that mild. You might want this. Are you sure you don't want it?
No.
Alright.
I'm fine.
Why don't you wear this one, Jasper? Wear this one, chicken. I don't want you to be cold.
I'm wearing this
yeah.
one.
Can't believe we're in the overflow car park. It's a good thing we got bikes and skateboards, or this would be a nightmare. See, there's a car coming. So I probably want you to stop, Jasper. Okay? That's it. Right, you can go forwards carefully now. This place is awesome. I know a couple of Evolve riding Tesla owners who'd be interested in the location. And always nice when the weather's good too. You working out, Jasper? I don't think your legs are quite long enough for this one. Come on. I am waiting for you. Look, there's a skate park. Right in there. Everybody has got way overtired, which isn't a massive surprise because it's quite hot and warm and fun and, you know, all the things that add up to very tired children. And also Jasper grazed his knee and there was a little bit of blood, which he is totally freaked by for some reason I don't understand. And that basically is it. Of course he's out for the count. It is hard work being a 4-year-old. Anyway, based on the fact that the door is open I have a feeling Dexter has also fallen asleep at the back of the car. Let's have a look. Yep, there's a sleeping Dexter. Is it tablet time? I do feel it's only fair to forewarn people. I am going to be using considerably shorter video titles from now on, because the longer the title, the higher the chances that the crazy YouTube algorithm is going to do that demonetized thing. And although they always remonetize it, it's still a big pain. Hello. It's been going around for about 3 hours. How's the battery doing on that thing? Oh, we're down to 2 lights. They've only been using it for the entire day non-stop, more or less. I want you to go carefully, Jasper. Sorry about the background noise. There's no stopping them. Right, well, we're about to head off to a friend of mine's, but before we do that, I wanted to talk about what I'm sort of talking about today, which is continuing the theme of production versus demand. Because there are people out there who might think to themselves, there isn't that much demand for stationary battery storage or for renewable energy generation in the form of solar panels. I would disagree. I think the problem is having access to large quantities of batteries and solar panels at a reasonable price. For example, take Elon Musk and Tesla and their energy side of the business, let's say. They have just started, I think they're actually sort of halfway through finishing in fact, the installation of a solar panel array plus batteries at a children's hospital in Puerto Rico, where they still don't have a, full coverage in terms of electrical energy. Wow, it's nice and quiet. Sorry. Careful. What's wrong? Sorry about that. Jasper is now officially run out of cycling energy, courtesy of a little splat up there. Right. Yeah, so the point is, one of the great things about the whole battery solar panels thing is if you've got the production, if you've got the big factory that can produce huge quantities of them at a reasonable price, it's actually very quick to install them in places, or repair them if they get damaged, or replace them if they get destroyed, or it's a hugely freeing way to generate and use electricity. You really do start to get this sort of future energy generation, energy grid concept that I think Elon Musk is really trying to sort of push towards. And this is a large part of the reason why I think that Tesla is probably worth their valuation, high as it is, versus a company like GM that really doesn't have a solid concept of how it's going to meet future demand for EVs, or how it's going to generate the power for them, or how it's going to supply the quick charging necessary to enable them to be their full potential. This is the problem versus a company like Tesla. Tesla is all about what it's going to be providing in the future. That's why they're building massive great battery factories. That's why they're building huge solar plants, and they've got plans to build other car plants in different continents, and they are really trying to make the future a reality by solving the core problem, which is not demand for these technologies, it's how do you produce them in large quantities at relatively low prices. Right, and now I've got to finish packing the car. I love those two. They're such a pair. Technically, it is from all three of us. Jasper, do you want to give it to Dexter and then he can open it?
Okay. Right, let's sit down here. Oh, careful. Right, sit down. What do you say, Dex? That's a card and that says to Dex, happy birthday. Let's Uncle James.
Excuse me, I got put into Dexter because I love him.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, look at that, Dex.
These are proper Hot Wheels cars, aren't they, Jasper?
Wow. What do you think, Dex? Oh, do you want to give Jazzy a cuddle?
Want me to open it?
Bye, guys. Right, we're hitting the road. We're just having a quick supercharge because tomorrow I don't think we're going to have an opportunity to charge. Jasper's asleep anyway, so it doesn't really cost me anything to have a little stop here. And I'm sort of planning ahead. And that's kind of one of the things that you just pick up with experience. If I put in a bit of charge now, it just makes life much easier tomorrow and the day after. Great. And it's how easy it is to fit a car with this sort of range into your daily life and just do exactly the journeys that you want to do, or that any other car can do, obviously, that helps to convince me that it's not a demand problem. Because, okay, yeah, so I'm sitting here for half an hour while I wait for the car to charge up, but for that half an hour I'm getting 80 quid's worth of travel for free. Basically, that's the thing, right? I mean, how much is your time worth to you? Because 80 quid for, you know, half an hour, that's a pretty decent rate to pay. I can live with that. And I think it's the same sort of thing with solar panels and batteries. They're so quick and easy to install, and they provide pretty decent power, honestly. I mean, okay, the sun is not 100% dependable, depending on where you are, but it's pretty dependable. It's certainly much more dependable and much more predictable than something like the wind, where you can just have no wind for a week. So, lots of battery factories, lots of car plants, lots of solar plants, and we're golden. And I reckon we'll get to that future energy nirvana that Elon Musk seems to think is possible. And I genuinely believe it's possible as well. I just think in order to get there, we have to drive the prices of these things down, and we need to get them out into the real world. I think to get them out into the real world, like I said, it's easy. It's driving the price down and building the manufacturing capability, because people don't have a good idea as to how much industrial effort goes into oil and gas and coal and moving these fuels around and then sticking them into power stations and into cars and petrol pumps and tankers. There's so much activity just purely dedicated to our energy infrastructure that actually solar panels, batteries and electric cars and maybe a slightly upgraded grid is amazingly enough actually quite a low bar for attainment in terms of the effort required versus a lot of these other things. It's just that those are the incumbents because they were possible 50, 100 years ago, and solar panels and batteries really weren't. You know, not from an efficiency point of view, not from any kind of a cost or manufacturing point of view either. Right, we're going to go do the rest of our journey now, and I'm going to say goodbye because the light is fantastic here, and we're just going to rock up at my mate's house. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's blog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next instalment of my daily vlog. Bye! I want to pop that on charge. You're here tomorrow? Right, if we charge that overnight, can you make sure he has a go on it at some point tomorrow?
No,
cool.
not like that.
Because what we don't want to do is have a fully charged battery left plugged in for like 3 weeks until Jasper comes back.
Oh yeah, here definitely.